Hi everyone. I'm making another video in relation to the theme of narcissistic fairy tales, psychopathic horror stories, and the devil or demon we knew. Okay, so today, the last time I was talking about sampaku. Sampaku is, as you all know, is just what I was referring to, the white of the eyes above or below the iris. Yeah, but today I'm actually talking about something else. I'm talking about blindness and insight. What do I mean by blindness and insight? Um, I think it's just basically in very simple layman terms. Uh, it's just simply recognizing that the person that we are talking to or the person that we have in our lives, uh, that other person is actually narcissist, that he or she is not normal. Okay, so I just want to talk about a little bit more about this in relation to the idea of not the idea, the story of Little Red Riding Hood. uh, yeah, I have said that sometimes that I told quite a number of people the fairy tales and the folk tales that we grew up with when we are little kids, little children, they all have some form of moral lesson. Yeah, a moral lesson to say about human behavior, human psychology. Sometimes it's not actually the best. Yeah, it's not actually the best. So the example of Little Red Riding Hood is actually a very interesting one because, as you all know, she went into the woods to actually pick flowers and while carrying like food and everything for her grandmother. But before she arrived at the place, I mean, she was distracted and she was she was pretty much delayed compared. I mean, for her time to actually only arrive after her grandmother had been eaten by the wolf, the big bad wolf. But the funny thing is that I realized that in the story, it didn't dawn on me until recently or like last year when I was looking one more time at that particular fairy tale, and I realized, wait, why can't Little Red Riding Hood tell the difference between the big bad wolf and her grandmother? It's like there's almost no excuse. I mean, unless her grandmother is really hideous, but even if she's a hideous woman, I mean, an ugly woman, it's impossible for her not to tell the difference between a wolf, an animal, and a human, especially between an animal who's probably like masculine and a woman, yeah, a human woman. It's a real, a real shortfall in terms of vision. Uh, did she suffer from myopia? Or presbyopia? I don't really know. Does Little Red Riding have any kind of a problem with her vision? To actually, because when she actually arrived at her home, she just, she mistook the big bad wolf was hiding underneath the clothes of grandmother for grandmother, and all she was just saying was that, she, I mean, I'm pretty sure that Little Red Riding Hood could see the difference between the ears, the eyes, the teeth, the mouth, but by the time it happened, the wolf was like all the better to eat you with. So and then he gobbled her up, and obviously the only time when when everything was resolved was when the hunter actually killed the wolf, and like cut open the wolf to allow Little Red Riding Hood and her grandmother to escape. uh yeah, and of course it's a miracle that they didn't even get digested in the stomach of the wolf. I mean, considering that any mammals stomachs always lined with acid to digest the food and prey. And of course, I mean, it's all a fairy tale and everything is just cautionary, but if you were to relate it to, you know, like narcissists and psychopaths, the other issue that we want to, you know, ask, I mean, the question we want to ask ourselves is this: uh, why didn't we actually recognize them at first? It goes back to the whole thing that, you know, like the narcissist or the psychopath or sociopath or whatever you want term you want to use to, you know, identify them. I mean, the main point is that they are just not good people. They are out to get you. They are preying on you and your gullibility and your naivety, all your hopes. But none of us actually knew who they were, or at the least, I do believe that we had some strange inkling that there was something wrong, but we never really listened to it. So that's one of the aspects of the so-called narcissistic experience. We actually end up like a Little Red Riding Hood. We think that the wolf is actually someone that we knew or someone close to us, when in fact the person turns out to be way worse, way worse, very far from what we expect, and is trying to devour us. Yeah. So that kind of blindness and insight, you know, that pairing, I mean, of the idea, I mean, of the intuition that something's off, that feeling something's off, alongside the desire to sort of believe that everyone is possibly, you know, good, that maybe they actually are someone who can be someone whom we know or trust. Uh, it's a very dangerous combination, I think, that narcissists use against us. I'm not going to pretend that it doesn't exist. And because it exists in all of us, I think we need to be really careful all the more, especially if we are really high on the scale of empathy. Yeah. So that's it for now. Okay, in terms of the idea of blindness and insight. If you all have any ideas or anything experiences relating to this whole thing about the conjunction of blindness and insights when you met a narcissist, you can leave a message down below in the comment section. I think that all of you all know that no one is celebrating really the Chinese New Year or the Lunar New Year as we all call it. Because of a death in my family. My grandmother passed away last year, and tradition means that, I mean, 2 years of mourning, that you can't really celebrate. My uncles are, yeah, wait, my second uncle is away in Indonesia with his family. Yeah, just the whole thing to escape the need to. There's no need to visit anyone, especially with the death. But that said, you know, Little Red Riding Hood, the story, yeah, it just kind of reminds me. I mean, I kind of think about that and the idea of grandmothers and everything. You do realize, oh, damn. Uh, yeah, I really do miss my grandmother a lot. So, but you know, things are always fixed a lot. We can't control life and death, but I think we can control the way we understand people around us, though, and also make sure that we live lives as fulfilling as we can. Okay, so I hope everyone has a good remaining night. It's on Sunday now. Yeah. It's turning 10 soon, I think. So it's really 10 something. Or here in the at night. Yeah. So have a good one, everyone. Bye bye.